Welcome back to Freedom to Think broadcast. We got another for our Freethinker React series. I'm your host, Jeff, and today is the most highly requested song ever. We got another Tom MacDonald video, brand new. Welcome, Hangover Gang. And I'm telling you, I have never had this many requests for a single song, ever. You guys came out for Tom, no lie. You came from everywhere, to the point where I got a suggestion from my groomsmen via text message from Will K. Hey man, you're probably already on it, but Tom MacDonald's new song Sheeple is amazing and good Lord needs a reaction. Well, Will, I got you, buddy. I ain't gonna lie to you. As somebody who makes these videos now, one of the most difficult parts of my entire life is having absolute crazy, awesome songs like this come out, and I can't watch it. I can't listen to it until I'm ready to make a video. I have not been able to sleep for like 3 days. So it is Monday morning, 5:30, and I just couldn't be more excited. If you enjoy this kind of content, please like, please subscribe. We're headed for 5K, maybe 10K by the time this comes out. Ultimately 1 million, but baby steps here. And comment what you think. Comment what you'd like to see next. If I go based on your recommendation, I will shout you out in the video. All right, first things first. On this channel, if we're gonna do the review, we're gonna buy the song. I recently got monetized, so a couple of really cool things are happening. One, every time I do a review, buying the song from the artist, because we got to support the artist. And I'll leave the link for their original video and where you can buy the song below. The second thing is I'm going to be giving 10% of the channel's income to various charities, but I hate charity that doesn't give money away. It's just like a giant Ponzi scheme that pays for itself. So I found a local charity that takes care of all the administrative garbage, and every dollar that we are putting towards is going to actually go towards a whole bunch of causes. And it's actually stuff that I care about. They have building houses, feeding people, and the coolest, they bought getaway vehicles for international teams who go rescue people from brothels who are victims of sex trafficking. They literally go in there disguised as a customer, and then they kidnap the kidnapped. And this organization has provided the vehicles. Literally purchase getaway vehicles. So cool. So if you're looking for somewhere trustworthy to give, I will leave this link below as well. But just know, if you like my videos, you subscribe to my channel, you comment on here, you boost the algorithm. If you're part of the Freethinkers Rebellion in any way, you are helping, even if you don't want to. Sorry. Some of these videos get copyright strikes. Some of them get demonetized for content. It is what it is when you're in this world. If you want to support the channel, you can join the Freethinkers Rebellion. Get your name in one of these videos. We've got Patreon, Buy Me a Coffee, a bunch of YouTube options here with super thanks. All help is appreciated. And make sure you join us on Discord. We're dropping the greatest memes of the day, getting to know one another. I really love interacting with you guys there. Now, without further ado, let's get into this video.
Humans been controlled since the day that they were civilized.
Okay. I will be stopping a lot, so if you don't like that, watch the video. I'm going to link that below and then come back. So it's like the iRobot assembly line. He's up in the middle of this. Let's see.
Truth has been so heavily politicized. If you don't know who's controlling you and killing all the little guys, find out who you're not allowed to criticize.
Yep. Okay. So first, we got like the Eye of Sauron in the background. Just, that's pretty awesome. I'm definitely a big fan of equality. It's very important. But in our world, some people are more equal than others. So when you see, as he said, who are you not allowed to criticize? That's super important. And that tells you who's actually in power.
If you don't know who's controlling you and killing all the little guys, find out who you're not allowed to criticize. Black black folks who were never ever actual slaves, fighting with white folks who ain't actual Nazis, controlled by rich folks who use the news to make hate, while elite folks control other political parties.
There was no fact check on this. There was no fact check. Because it's facts, guys. Oh, snap. And it's very important that he put both political parties. As you know, I am a conservative-leaning, libertarian, free-thinking conspiracy theorist, okay? So recently, I've been voting more for the right side. But both parties are trash. It's a big club, and we ain't in it. And talking about how black people who were never slaves are fighting white people who are absolutely not Nazis. I like both parts of that. Come on. I can't tell you enough times how ridiculous the whole victimhood of slavery is. Everyone was a slave. Slavery is about wealth. It's not about race. Because in Africa, the Africans rounded up the poor Sheeple and different tribes and made them slaves to sell to everyone else. And all over the world, China, China still has slaves, Uyghur Muslims. Look that up. We're all like, white people are so evil. White people were the first to get rid of slavery. Africa still has slavery. China still has slavery. And there's a lot of, human trafficking is slavery. So, southern border, just saying. But we want to gaslight black America into saying that the white people who have nothing are the ones holding you back from a good life. Bro.
By rich folks who use the news to make hate, while elite folks control other political parties. It's a big lie, trying to make you pick sides, trying to make you burn the cities down and kill each other. They got sick minds.
Trying to get you to burn down the cities. We had the riots in 2020. You got the big mega corporations that are buying up all of the property everywhere. BlackRock and Vanguard. Come on, guys, get with the program. And what was that face? That crazy psycho face with the feeding tube up the nose? Dude.
Trying to make you pick sides, trying to make you burn the cities down and kill each other. They got sick minds, big lies, deep on the police so that there's big crime. To take away our freedom, to restore order, they let die.
Dude, we got like the actual purge coming to some places. Because they're getting rid of police. They're getting rid of like bail. They're just like turning loose people who kidnap and attack. And they're not going to go after people who are trespassing on your property. Somebody just shows up and wants to live in your shed. That's just up to you. It's on you. But then they also want to take away your Second Amendment. This is like a Paul Revere song, dude. He's like, this is what's coming. Wake up. Everybody, wake up.
Deep on the police so that there's big crime. To take away our freedom, to restore order, they let die. Play with people, turn men into women. Make the counterculture mainstream to mix up the system. Change the pronouns. If gender is a spectrum, so is privilege. I know poor white folks and black celebrities with millions.
It's an overload. It's an overload. Okay. Yes, he said privilege is a spectrum. I love that. That is so good. And it's all relative. My parents were 16 and 17 when my mom got pregnant. Okay. We're born in the hood with nothing. No food, no nothing. Didn't qualify for shit because my dad stuck around. So literally starved for the beginning of my life. Moved 12 times by the time I was 9. I am so lucky. I am so privileged that I was born in America. Because I could go from that, having absolutely nothing. My bedroom was a couch. My bedroom was the floor. My bedroom was an old mattress in the attic. Literally nothing. And now, it's not like huge and massive and crazy, but I own a lake house in Georgia. I got a fully enclosed yard where my dogs can run. I got chickens. I got my 3 kids, and they can go play outside whenever. And all my neighbors are strapped. So no one's messing with my kids. Like, you can't have that kind of a turnaround in other countries. You don't have the massive level of opportunity where you can come from nothing and literally just have it all. But you can have that here. Doesn't matter what your skin color is. With him saying, and I know some of them too, you got people who are broke ass, poor white folks. And then you got people who are like 3 generations into pretty good wealth, good jobs, and good whatever, who are minorities. They're privileged. We're all privileged. White privilege is a myth propagated by the people who want you to give up your freedom and your money to give them a job. They got a hero complex, and they're just holding you back.
Pronouns of gender is a spectrum, so is privilege. I know poor white folks and black celebrities with millions. They starve you with a lack of information and only give you facts through a branded corporation.
Sorry, that was the cognitive dissonance leaving my body. If you don't know what cognitive dissonance is, it's very important. It's basically the number one enemy of Tom and a lot of people like him. So when you have a belief system, your brain, in order to protect you, tries to protect your belief system. So anytime new information comes in that disrupts what you believe, that counters what you believe, your body is going to trigger a fight or flight response. And then you will actively fight against the new information. You'll either run away, you'll react violently, the fight or flight response. And this is what we're seeing with basically the entire left, because after 2 years of being wrong about everything with COVID, 5 years of being wrong about everything for Donald Trump, they can't face the reality. So as we have this walking dirty diaper that falls up the stairs, ruin everything, they won't acknowledge it. They have built the walls of their cognitive dissonance so strong that they look like they're actual drones, sheep. It's kind of pathetic, honestly. But that's what that's called. So the cognitive dissonance is making it so they won't acknowledge truth in order to protect their mind. And so Tom is like this guy with a jackhammer standing on top of the dome of cognitive dissonance, just freaking. He's going to break through. I swear to God, he's going to break through. And the whole world needs it. And I'm just there with like a chisel, I'm trying, guys. I don't have the same pull. I can't sing or dance. That's why I support this guy. Let's keep going.
They starve you with a lack of information and only give you facts through a branded corporation. Distort your worldview with an algorithm that changes based on propaganda curated for your engagement. We can't be free.
I can't. The fact-checking industry was created to stop you from knowing the actual truth. It's all funneled. Like he said, it's an algorithm that's moving based on the propaganda. That's why you can have Fauci say, oh yeah, the masks don't work. Maybe a droplet or two.
People should not be walking around with masks. You're sure of it? Because people are listening really closely to this. Right now, people should not be walking. There's no reason to be walking around with a mask. When you're in the middle of an outbreak, wearing a mask might make people feel a little bit better, and it might even block a droplet, but it's not providing the perfect protection that people think that it is. And often there are unintended consequences. People keep fiddling with the mask and they keep touching their face.
And then when they're like, hey, it's going to be really politically convenient if we can make everyone cover their face just because we said so. And then he's like, oh, wear 2 masks because of this study on dummies. It's literally a study on non-humans, on non-living subjects. They sprayed their face and they measured how much water got through. And they're like, oh, the more layers we put, the less stuff gets through. We should just wear 2 or 3 masks. I swear to God, that's what the study was that they based this off, giving no credence to how much harder it is to breathe and how damaging that is to you. You ever heard of hypercapnia? Probably not. I don't think they talked about it very much. I'm 6'4". I don't do well in masks. It's kind of a touchy subject. I get claustrophobic, and it triggers the same symptoms of claustrophobia for me, like being in a cage. Start to get aggressive, start to get lightheaded, almost fainted. Anyway, so it's been proven pretty irrefutably that that was a horrible option, didn't work, and these people are just not bowing down. Some of them are still requiring it. Same with the pokey pokes. Didn't work the way they wanted. That was all for agendas. Wasn't for science. Wasn't for the good of everyone. They didn't even test it on transmission.
Was the Pfizer COVID vaccine tested on stopping the transmission of the virus before it entered the market? If not, please say it clearly. If yes, are you willing to share the data with this committee? And I really want a straight answer, yes or no, and I'm looking forward to it. Thank you very much.
Regarding the question around, did we know about stopping immunisation before it's entered the market? No. We had to really move at the speed of science to really understand what is taking place in the market.
This is scandalous. Millions of people worldwide felt forced to get vaccinated because of the myth that you do it for others. Now this turned out to be a cheap lie.
Yet they had billions of dollars advertising for us to do something. So what he's saying, they're funneling the information. The mega corporations working together with the politicians to tell us what to think. Good, okay, to the chorus.
Changes based on propaganda curated for your engagement. We can't be free, can't have no peace till we're on the same team, but y'all are sheep. Glued to screens, just part of the machine. Y'all are sheep. What do y'all believe? Oh my sheep. Nothing's what it seems.
Yes. Yes. Now, we're not all sheeple. Not all of us. I actually got this. One of my favorite little trinkets. I leave it on my gun safe for while I'm getting strapped. It's a wolf in sheep's clothing. You can't tell who exactly knows what's up, but some of us do. And Tom is on the money. And he's right. They're messing with us, trying to get control, trying to get all the wealth, all the power, all the influence. And we're just bickering with each other over stupid stuff. And he's like, we got to come together. Otherwise, you're just sheeple. It's true. It's true.
Nothing's what it seems. Hollywood been writing your brain, controlling your mouth. You say lit, fleet, bet, cap. They trying to dumb you down. They endorse whatever narrative is popular to shout and use minorities in movies for diversity clout.
Oh my God, dude. Oh, okay. For one, no cap. My little cousin's been trying to help me with the new slang because it doesn't make any sense and it sounds ridiculous. But I'm trying to be cool, you know. Second, he's right how they use minorities for diversity clout. That is 100%. My uncle, my Theo up in New York, is a really big artist, okay? And he does tattoos, he does graffiti, he does all this stuff. And they had him hired on to do a mural for Latinx. It says Latinx. And then there's a big plaque that says, hey, we got this Mexican guy to do this to support Latinx. And I'm just like, my Theo doesn't care about Latinx, I don't think. Pretty sure, you know, he got street cred and a big paycheck. He's not a political person, really, at all. Makes fun of everybody. But that's what they're doing. They're like, hey, you know, you, who, like everyone else, needs some money. Here's some money. I want you to come say this thing. And then you take the money, you go do the thing, and then they're like, oh, hey, everyone, all of the people in X category agree with us. It's like, no, they don't. No, they don't. They tried to get me to do this, like, modeling thing for one of the partner corporations that we worked with in my job. And it was funny because they were reaching out to my boss, and they're like, yeah, the tall guy with the glasses, yeah, we want him. It's like, I wonder why. And I was going to go $500 for a day, which for me is pretty awesome. But they had crazy restrictions with safety protocols that made absolutely no sense, were not scientifically acceptable to me. And so I said I wouldn't do any of that crazy stuff. And so I ended up losing the gig. They're like super disappointed. They lost the brownie, man.
Endorse whatever narrative is popular to shout and use minorities in movies for diversity clout. Two sides on the spectrum, but ain't none of them honest. Took the red pill and the blue pill, spit them both in the garbage. Being woke used to mean you understood you're a target, and now it's having two good legs and never taking a step forward. If you agree, it's free speech. Disagree, it's hate speech. Erase it if it came from anywhere except the mainstream. Trump support.
Okay. I have people in my family, and I'm sure you do too. We just had Columbus Day. And they're like, Happy Indigenous Peoples Day. Forget Columbus. He's done. He's a murderer. He's a horrible person. He probably did cause some murder, you know? He didn't discover America first. That is true. There were already people living here. There were Vikings that came, you know, but he discovered it for a specific set of people. And you just don't acknowledge the fact that the natives were conquering and murdering and enslaving each other. Also, human sacrifice and cannibalism, which wasn't super nice. And then big bad Europe shows up and conquers everybody. So it was okay for them to conquer each other and kill each other and enslave each other and eat each other, but not for the Europeans to do it, right? I'm being serious. Like, we have just this psychotic worldview that, like, everyone outside of a certain race was perfectly good, and then they showed up and messed everything up. It wasn't like the smaller tribes were super grateful that the Europeans took out the bigger tribes that were enslaving and conquering everyone, right? You don't think that happened? Okay. Now, him saying the right and the left can, the red pill or the blue, spit them both out. I mean, I can definitely agree with that to an extent. There is a gigantic movement within the right side, an America First patriotic movement of people who seem to be not owned by the corporations, not in the influence with the main group of baddies at Washington. And they seem to be a real threat to the system he's talking about. But I'm not like a GOP for life guy. I would 100% prefer Tulsi Gabbard to Romney, McCain, Cheney, or any of the Bushes.
Free speech, disagree, it's hate speech. Erase it if it came from anywhere except the mainstream. Trump supporters labeled as the racist, but that can't be. Lincoln was Republican, and that's who ended slavery.
You guys knew I stopped right before that. Listen, everyone in New York loved Trump before he switched to Republican. Everybody. All my liberal family who are now haters, they looked up to that big orange man. You understand? Like, he came out on 9/11, had his people helping look for everyone, gave who knows how much money. He was friends with everybody. There was no issue with race and Trump. And yeah, have you seen those interviews with like millennials and young people where they're like, what party was Lincoln part of? People don't even know that the Republicans were the anti-slavery party. They have no idea. Lincoln freed the slaves, Republican. Because I do this, I had a family member reach out to my wife to tell her that they're disappointed that she married such an ignorant, racist loser because I'm conservative. Like, they're super mega lib. And the hilariousness is, that's my great grandfather. And he fought for the Union, Civil War, to come free the slaves. And this family member was descendant of Southern slave owners. And I have immigrant grandparents, Mexican. So, but I'm the ignorant racist because I'm conservative. You get where the crazy comes from? It's crazy.
Reporters labeled as the racist, but that can't be. Lincoln was Republican, and that's who ended slavery. Science been politicized, it's easy to see. A mask became a symbol of which side you believe. But you'll never cure a sickness till you cure the greed, because the problem with our natural immunity is it's free.
Okay. Give me the straitjacket. Natural immunity is free. That is the big problem. You can't sell it. You can't sell that people need sunlight. You need sunlight and exercise and a bunch of vegetables. It's $1 for a bag of broccoli. So if you're like, you need to eat a bag of broccoli a day, take some cheap vitamins, get some extra vitamin D, vitamin C, vitamin A, some B vitamins for energy, magnesium, zinc. They're like, wait, what? That's not going to do. We need to give people a 1 a day to help prevent symptoms. Will it give them cancer? Oh, I don't know. Maybe we didn't look. Or we did look, but we're pretending we don't know. Looking at you, Pfizer. But yeah, the masks absolutely didn't work. Non-negotiable, worldwide, global statistics. I think we have more statistics proving that didn't work than maybe any other thing ever in like history of medicine. They didn't work. So it's an L. You got to take the L. The fact these people won't take the L is showing that they just have an agenda. It's not actually anything to do with health or helping people. And the greed has been crazy. Bo Burnham, I remember that kid, did a bit a long time ago talking about how if he started a business for sexual assault whistles and then it took off, he would be conflicted because part of him is trying to battle against that horrible thing, but then the other part of him is profiting off of that horrible thing. So you kind of want it to keep going on. And that's what like the entire big pharma industry is in. It's about greed and money, quarterly statements. So they don't want you cured. They want to treat you for life. You're a customer. That's reality. Sorry.
Never cure a sickness till you cure the greed, because the problem with our natural immunity is it's free. Society is broken, want you locked inside a cubicle, addicted to pornography, liquor, and pharmaceuticals. Tell you that you're
want you locked in a cubicle, addicted to liquor, pornography, and pharmaceuticals. Yes, I can tell you right now, you can't get addicted to anything. If you get addicted to something damaging, that's it. That's the ball game, dude. If you use liquor and pharmaceuticals as a crutch, it's like they won. Everyone needs a crutch. Everybody. So I don't know what your crutch needs to be. If it needs to be religion, it needs to be exercise, it needs to be yoga, it needs to be watching animal documentaries on Discovery Channel. I don't know. But pick your crutch and make it something that's constructive. Because I'm going to tell you right now, there are so many people that take all of their creative freaking life energy and they blast it into a tube sock every day, wasting away their soul on pornography. Okay? Don't do it. I'm not judging. I'm just saying. You can see it in their eyes. They're just like, soul starts to die and they're just staring past everything. Just got a blank stare because they're hopped up. They're either on pharmaceuticals, they're coming down or going up on, some alcohol binge, or like I said, they got that pornography just taking away their life source, man. Got to save it. Use it. No Nut November's coming. Make it your year.
Want you locked inside a cubicle, addicted to pornography, liquor, and pharmaceuticals. Tell you that you're fat and poor and you were never beautiful, then tweet how much they love you when they hear about your funeral. We can't be free, can't have no peace till we're on the same team, but y'all are sheep. Blue to screens just part of the machine. Y'all are sheep. What do y'all believe? Oh, my sheep. Nothing's what it seems. If they can't convince you, they confuse.
I love the cinematography. I love the scene with him inside with all like the droid people. I love the Eye of Sauron in the sky. I love that crazy look with the white eyes and the nose thing. Like, what? When I see people on the drugs, on alcohol, with a massive pornography addiction, they're just like caught by that system he's talking about. They've been turned into the sheeple. You're no longer a problem. Okay, dumb, docile, and out of the way. And that picture that he has of him just with the feeding tube and white glazed over eyes, that's what I'm talking about. That's everywhere. You see it all over the place. That's like an extreme example, but that's what people look like on the inside after the system gets a hold of them enough. You know what I mean? Man, this is a crazy one.
Nothing's what it seems. If they can't convince you, they confuse you. They want you dumb and dead. They divided you by race, religion, income, and sex. Made everybody right and left. The hatred got so intense. If the other side likes oxygen, you'll put a bag on your head.
No. That's, dude, I think it was David Hogg, the crazy, like, super scrawny kid, puts his fist in the air all the time. He was like, I'll wear a mask forever if the MAGA people don't like it. Like, okay, so clearly you know that it's not the science. Like, you're literally cutting down your oxygen intake by putting something in front that's restricting your airway. All of the science supports that it's not actually helping for what you're trying to make it help for. So then it just becomes like a jersey. Like, this is the team I'm on. And he said it right there. If the other team likes oxygen, you'll put a bag on your head just to spite the other team. That's amazing.
Buddy, right and left, the hatred got so intense. If the other side likes oxygen, you'll put a bag on your head. And the conspiracy theories labeled as misinformation is just a terrifying truth that scares the hell out the nation.
I said it in the last couple videos. It's getting shorter and shorter and shorter. The time between when the machine says it's a conspiracy theory and then reality catches up and shows that it absolutely is the truth. And they're going crazy over it. Tom, I love and appreciate you so much because I won't shut up, haven't shut up. And because of that, I've paid dearly. I've been deplatformed. I lost that gig I told you guys about. I got kicked out of my office, suspended without pay because I would not comply with these stupid restrictions. And all the fact checkers are feeding these people bull so they think that they're in the right. And then they think that I'm crazy. But I'm not. I'm just a guy. I'm just a dude. And I can read. And I'm not stupid. And I know that the world's not perfect. And people are corruptible. People have agendas. And I'm not trying to buy into their agenda. I'm just trying to live and let live. But they want to control me. And that's not working. Because I ain't a sheep.
Conspiracy theories labeled as misinformation is just a terrifying truth that scares the hell out the nation. The system treating you like trash and you got rifles to aim with. Just imagine how they'll treat you when your guns get confiscated. George Orwell, 1980.
Imagine how they'll treat you once the guns are confiscated. That is maybe the most important line here, because look at the rest of the world. And look at Florida. You know what I'm saying? The places that honor the Constitution the most, you've got to look at the difference during the last couple years, especially at the height of the pandemic. The human rights that were violated across the world, crazy high, just psycho, that was thrown out the window for safety. The Germans would say, für eure Sicherheit. It's for your safety. You know, that's why we got to take these people away. To camp. I mean, did you even look at Australia? They had Port Arthur, took away the guns, and then during the pandemic, they literally took people off to camp. They had people escaping the camps and being tracked down by the police for quarantine. That did not happen in Texas and Florida or here in Georgia. If you politely disagreed with their guidance, well, you were part of a pretty large percentage of people in certain areas of the country. Because I know the song is Sheeple. It's about the sheep. Sheep go along, they're in the herd, they'll walk right off the edge of the cliff with everyone else. That's not American, dude. Our heritage is to rebel. Rebellion. It's in our blood. Our rights, our Constitution, it's just a piece of paper. The only thing that gives it teeth is the second. You give up the second, then it's like every other banana republic, every other totalitarian, communist shithole country. They all had like a charter or a constitution or a set of rights, but they just didn't honor it. That will happen. Kind of already happening. First Amendment's been abused. Second Amendment's being attacked. Fourth Amendment, come on. Got the ATF showing up and trying to confiscate people's stuff that's legal. No warrant. You gotta wake up. It's like really important.
Trash and you got rifles to aim with. Just imagine how they'll treat you when your guns get confiscated. George Orwell, 1984 was his last lecture. George called them thought police. Now we call them fact checkers.
1 second. There was, of course, no way of knowing whether you were being watched at any given moment. How often or on what system the thought police plugged in on in any individual wire was guesswork. It was even conceivable that they watched everybody all the time. But at any rate, they could plug in your wire whenever they wanted to. You had to did live, from habit that became instinct, in the assumption that every sound you made was overheard and, except in darkness, every moment scrutinized. We're going to say that's fact-checked as true.
1984 was his last lecture. George called them thought police. Now we call them fact checkers. Government surveillance trying to catch you. They don't ask questions. Mass incarceration equals capital for cash investors. The system isn't broke, it's working fine. Oppressive and chaotic is how it was designed. They say if we ain't doing nothing.
Okay, wait a second. Has he got the robots like waking up? I saw the one earlier, like looking at its hands a little bit, where you're just like, something's wrong. Something's not right. I need to get out of here. I'm getting too amped about this. Get too amped. The sheeple are rising. Come on, Tom. Keep it going.
Broke is working fine. Oppressive and chaotic is how it was designed. They say if we ain't doing nothing wrong, there's nothing to hide. While their agenda and intelligence completely classified. They don't.
Ooh, ooh. Yeah, how about Epstein's black book? Where is that? Huh? Classified. Classified. Our FBI does criminal investigation and intelligence. So if they don't want you to see it, they reclassify it as intelligence. And then they make it classified. If they don't have proof, they don't make it a criminal investigation. They make it an intelligence investigation. So they can just do whatever they want. And like you said, like, oh, if you're not doing anything wrong, it's fine. Yeah, but according to who? Because we just saw this trial going on with Trump, and we're seeing that everything that they were parroting on every news station, every headline, the Mockingbird media was spreading that stuff, and it was a lie. They literally paid people for lies and then stood in front of the FISA judge, which is defenseless. There's like no defense attorney. And they lied to the judges. All of it was a lie. So like, it's no big deal if you're telling the truth. Okay. What if the people in charge aren't telling the truth? You gotta have protections against corruption.
Ain't doing nothing wrong, there's nothing to hide. While their agenda and intelligence completely classified. They don't teach you rights in school, you never learn them at all. Cause they're easy to remove if you don't know what they are. The only people you can rule are the criminal ones.
Okay. I can't stop stopping. I can't stop stopping. They don't teach you your rights. Damn straight, dude. I feel like they got rid of cursive in school because all of our freaking historical documents are written in cursive. So these people can't even read the Bill of Rights. They don't know how anymore. Can't read the Constitution. I remember in New York, I had a history teacher who told us that the Second Amendment meant that we can have police and military with firearms. I knew that was bull because I had an uncle who was a Marine and another uncle who was like an avid hunter and 2A guy. And I was just like, no, that's not right. That's for everyone, like normal people. And she got super defensive and drew on her authority real quick. It's like, who's the teacher? What do you mean? You don't know what you're talking about. I'm just like, I'm like a kid and you're like straight up lying to the whole class. This is very concerning. So he's right. They're not telling you what your rights are. And kids are growing up dumber and dumber and dumber. Have you seen those interviews where they talk to like the Gen Z kids and they're like, number one, it's like, was Lincoln a Democrat or Republican? That's a pretty good first question. People really need to know the answer to. Was the KKK the extremist arm of which party? Kind of important. And yeah, everyone needs to know the Bill of Rights. I would suggest that you just have one of these handy, like always. You know what I'm saying?
Easy to remove if you don't know what they are. The only people you can rule are the criminal ones. So they force you into corners till you're breaking the law. We can't be free.
They're becoming self-aware. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna stop. Watch the video after this or before this or during. You could take a break and watch the whole thing if I'm driving you crazy. It's fine. I'm too hyped to just watch it through. Come on. The sheeple are becoming self-aware. The system is breaking. Tom's doing it, man. He's freaking doing it. He's waking up the world.
Force you into corners till you're breaking the law. We can't be free. Can't have no peace till we're on the same team, but y'all are sheep. Lucas screams just part of the machine. Y'all are sheep. What do y'all believe? My sheep. Nothing's what it seems.
Wow. I don't think I've been that amped up for a song ever, and every second was worth it. I mean, you don't understand. I haven't been sleeping because I'm so excited about this song. And it was everything I wanted and more. Just magnificent. The cinematography was awesome. He had this Sauron eye in the sky. That look where he's got the wires and the nose feeding tube, the glazed over eyes. Just, whoa. And then he's got all the robots. And you see some of the robots kind of fidgeting and starting to figure out that, like, this is messed up, man. This isn't right, dude. And he's just like the red pill dispenser. All day. All day. So here's Tom once again with Sheeple breaking through that cognitive dissonance. Just pounding. And I think it's starting to work more and more. I got people that are coming around that were always super against everything that I've been talking about, that I've been posting, and they're starting to get it. It's starting to make sense. Like, it can only suck so bad for so long before people start to figure out that these people are gaslighting us about everything. And the priorities don't make any sense. So here in Georgia, we got elections coming up, okay? And Governor Kemp, for all his faults, he was like the first in the country to push back against these health restrictions, saying, look, I know you're saying it's serious. I know you're saying we need to do whatever, but it's more serious that we got all these people out of work, that we got all these small businesses hurting. We're opening. And he pushed even against Donald Trump to say, we're opening, period. And so we were doing stuff like normal way before anyone in the country. And then we got Stacey Abrams, who's running against him on the Democratic side. And she's over here saying Georgia's the worst place in the country to live.
I am tired of hearing about being the best state in the country to do business when we are the worst state in the country to live.
We got her out here saying that the fetal heartbeat is a conspiracy theory.
There is no such thing as a heartbeat at 6 weeks. It is a manufactured sound designed to convince people that men have the right to take control of a woman's body.
This is the party of science, people.
That's some crazy stuff. That's crazy. And we got these sheeple that have been convinced that their ability to take out a 9-month-old baby in the womb is more important than everything else. Seriously? When they've been violating the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, freedom of the press, taking away the right to assembly, like, they have gone hard against our rights. And then you're freaking out over non-rights? That's not in the Constitution. That's not anywhere. There's nothing about that. So it can be a law, and the lawmakers can figure it out. But they're trying to say that it's a right. Like I've seen AOC. Housing is a right. A living wage is a right. No, it's not. It's like something you would like in theory, for sure. Like steak and BJ day isn't a right. Appreciate it. It's not a right. So I agree with 85% of what he's saying. I just think we need to acknowledge that there is a movement within one of the parties that is fighting against the greater system that's in place. And we saw through the primaries, the movement is gaining massive ground against the establishment because they're honest and they're saying things that would never be said beforehand. I got Marjorie Taylor Greene here in Georgia telling them about how California is funding the campaign and the lifestyle of her opponent.
He's a liar, and all he has done is sent emails all over the country to raise money for himself, and he pays himself out of his campaign with your donation dollars. If you're a California Democrat sending money to Marcus Flowers, he's paying himself to run for Congress and pretend that he can beat me in a blood-red Republican district. None of his Democrat defund the police, America Last policies represent our district, and I do.
Imagine caring so much about how other people are governed that you donate millions of dollars to other states' candidates to try and create this utopian nightmare that they've been after this whole time. I don't think so. States' rights, people's rights. Let's freaking go. Tom, I love this song. I will listen to it on repeat. Super glad I bought it. If you guys enjoy this content, please like, please subscribe. We're headed for 5K, then 1 million, first 5K. Comment what you think, comment what you'd like to see next. If I go based on your recommendation, I'll shout you out in the video. This has been a blast. I'll see you on the next one. So excited, but it's 5:30 in the morning. Getting wild. Getting wild. We are rolling. We are rolling. We are rolling. Just gotta get my voice warmed up. Warm up my voice. Talk. Rock. I'm going to huff and huff and blow your house down. For today's forecast, it's going to be raining insults with a large front of absolute savagery. Back to you, Jeff.